Luncheon, coming to you live from CTV Studio 5. Big thank you to Gordon Christensen and CTV 5 for helping us facilitate all of these luncheons as we navigate COVID. Going to jump right into announcements and some thank yous. It's always good to start with gratitude. So I want to start with thanks to DirectLink, our presidential level member, for their ongoing support as always and for everything that they've done for our community. Recent new development is Wi-Fi in the parks. That's come online in a couple of different parks, and others are in phases of development. So great community service that they're doing for the city of Canby. Would like to introduce the 2020 Board of Directors. Our president, Terri Gesik of Gustafson Insurance and Frontier Golf Course, who will be joining us a little bit later in the hour. Our first vice president, Jim Davis of Canby Fire. Our second vice president, Tyler Nizer from the Clackamas County Fairgrounds and Events Center. Huge thank you to him for his scare fair and providing us some entertainment over the Halloween holiday. Our secretary treasurer, Diane Harbeck of Better Homes and Gardens Realty Partners. To Tina Schimpf, who will be our first interview of the hour. She's from Hope Village. To Joel Cutsforth from Cutsforth Market, George Martinez from U.S. Bank, Mace Peevler from Wilson Construction, and our currently seated past president, Carrie Olin of Promotional Strategies. So before we jump into interviews and introduce you to the new board members for the class of 2021, some announcements. Good morning, Canby. We were hosting face-to-face events last month and on Mondays. And we're actually going to go back to the Thursday date, our traditional Thursday date, but we're also going to go back to the virtual format. While it was a success, getting people together face-to-face, and it was a welcome gathering point for folks. Cases are on the rise. Clackamas County hospitals are starting to become occupied. And just after talking with Canby Fire District, we made the decision that it was in the best interest of the broader community, our members, and the chamber itself that we move back into the virtual space. We're always pushing. We're always looking for when that will be a safe opportunity to gather, and so we'll move right back into face-to-face as soon as our health officials kind of give us the thumbs up on that. So that'll be the second Thursday of the month. You can find the event on our Facebook page with the link for the Zoom meeting there. In addition, the multi-chamber virtual networking event is on Wednesday, November 18th at 8 a.m. And this is great because it actually brings businesses from really across the South Metro region. Wilsonville Chamber members are represented, West Lynn, Lake Oswego, Sherwood, Tualatin, Canby, I think all the way out to Newburgh. This virtual networking event, I think the last time I went, had around 50 to 70 folks in attendance. So it really is a chance to market your business in an environment that's more broad than just the Canby, local Canby area. The Canby Employment Expo is now the South Metro Virtual Job and Career Fair. We've partnered up with the Wilsonville Chamber of Commerce, and using the same software that we use for the virtual networking, we're hosting a career fair where we can host up to 200 job seekers at a time, coming in and meeting with local businesses. If you have any interest and are looking for folks, we still have a couple of spaces available in that virtual space where you can do some recruiting and meet some folks that are looking for a job. That will be on December 2nd, and there's 2 sessions. Employers straddle both sessions. Job seekers register for a single one. So we're hoping to actually move potentially up to 400 job seekers through this event. So one is noon to 2 and the other is 4 to 6. We did it in those time slots because we figured those who maybe are currently employed but are seeking alternate employment could come on their lunch hour or could come from that 5 to 6 p.m. Time frame. And so we just felt like that was friendly to both those who are unemployed as to those who are maybe looking for an upgrade in their employment. So reach out to me if you have any interest in that. And then yesterday, and finally something fun. Yesterday, we announced our raffle for rest and relaxation. And this is a raffle event where tickets are $20. We're only selling 498 tickets, so odds are decent that you can win. And there are 4 vacations that you can win. The grand prize is a 2-night stay at Stoller Vineyards, the Wine Country Farmhouse, which sleeps 12. It also comes with wine tasting for guests over 21, and you also receive a $200 gift card for purchasing wine or doing some wine tasting with your friends or family if you win that one. The next one is the getaway to the beach. And so this is good for basically a 2-night stay at the Inn at Seaside and also a $200 Visa gift card. Oh, I should mention, grand prize is sponsored by the Wild Hair Saloon, and the $200 Visa gift card is sponsored by Columbia Distributing. The getaway to the beach is sponsored by Chris Salee over at Health Markets and Columbia Distributing for the $200 gift card. We have a getaway to the mountain. And this one is good for 2 nights at the Whispering Woods Resort, sponsored by ODEC, or Oregon Driver Education Center, and it also comes with a $200 Visa gift card sponsored by Columbia. And the final one, we have a getaway to the casino, and this is the casino, a 2-night stay at the casino out in Pendleton, sponsored by Canby Eyecare. And the $200 Visa gift card sponsored by Columbia Distributing. So there's 4 chances to win. Grand prize is drawn first. You can find a link to purchase your gift cards on the Canby Area Chamber's website calendar. You register for the raffle. You can enter as many times as you like, and we'll use a random number generator to select our winners. Grand prize gets drawn first, and then we move on down. So we figured, people have been hunkered down for quite a bit and are looking to get out. And so all of these are drivable. If money's tight, that's why we put that $200 Visa gift card on top of it, so that you could get away without maybe stretching the family budget. So it's an opportunity to really go out, relax, rest, and do some self-care. So if you're interested in that, go to the Canby Area Chamber's website calendar, and you'll find the link there. So that's it, basically, for announcements. And so let's get down to brass tacks here and get to know our new class of board members. Each of the new board members will be asked the same 3 questions in an effort to just let you get to know them a little bit better. I'm super pleased to have the opportunity to introduce them to you. And so to begin, I figured we'll begin with the veteran. We're going to start with a returning member to the board, Tina Schimpf from Hope Village.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be on the board again.
Yes, thank you. I think everybody on the board, everybody within the community appreciates you stepping up and renewing your term. We definitely love having you there. I will say that the getaway raffle really was the brainchild of Tina, who provided us with that opportunity. It takes a collective to come up with the new ideas, so thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad we got it to come together and all the businesses that participated.
Yeah. So we'll just jump right in. Why don't you tell folks a little bit about yourself and maybe a little bit about your business?
Okay, well, I have lived in Canby since 1996, moved here, and have been raising my 3 kids here, and just fell in love with this community. And so I was looking for opportunities to get involved, and Chamber was new to me. I didn't understand what the Chamber even did, and so when I was introduced, I decided to jump in and become an ambassador, and I did that for a while. And so I really enjoyed that. When I had the opportunity to become a board member, I was happy to do so.
Yeah.
I just love this community and everything that it entails. The businesses are so supportive of each other, and so it was a really easy transition for me to want to get in and help.
I do love, actually, that you bring up the ambassadors as kind of that entryway gateway. If you're really wanting to kind of like land with a splash and get to know people really quickly, while having kind of some structure instead of just walking into a room and sticking your hand out, introducing yourself all the time. The ambassadors program is a way that you can kind of gently and softly become known around the community.
Absolutely. And I think that people don't understand what the chamber does. And so I love going out and being able to share with people what actually we do and what support we are for businesses and the value for them.
Yeah.
And so, and it's been really great with my kids growing up and being a single mom, having the opportunity to bring my kids. I used to bring them when they were in school and younger and couldn't be left home alone. They came to the chamber and they were welcomed, and they got to see what it takes to be a business person and have etiquette and things like that. So it's been a great learning ground for my children to be good citizens.
Yeah, totally. We're all looking for ways to make our children good citizens,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah. So a little bit maybe about Hope Village and the community you work for?
So Hope Village is a senior living, 62 and older, independent living community. And it's got 126 garden homes and 12 cottages. And then we also house the Marquee, assisted living, memory care, and skilled nursing rehab. And then we also have 2 buildings, which are apartments, which are affordable housing. And so I'm the marketing coordinator there, and I help get the people into their homes. And people don't understand that they're life leases, and so I get to explain that and kind of act as the realtor, which you're not purchasing, but you get to go in and tour the homes. We are only doing that as we have them open. Now it's not like we can take people into other people's homes.
Right.
So it's kind of a limited amount of touring.
Right.
But we do turn over about 9 to 10 units per year. And we have a lot of great activities. We have a woodworking shop. We have a quilting room, a game room where the pool tables are run every day at about 1 o'clock, noon to 1 o'clock with the guys. And we have garden boxes and the little workout room where everybody comes in. So lots of little amenities there that keep the people active. And it's a great place to just go out and take a walk.
Yeah.
And so I've been there 2 years and really thankful for that community.
Yeah. They do a lot, and every time I come onto the property, I am kind of amazed at really how beautiful the space is.
Oh, it is. And right now, oh my gosh, fall is the best time. The trees there are just amazing color. So if you want to see amazing color, and I hear the dinosaurs are coming.
Oh,
the
the
T-Rexes
T-Rex
are
family?
coming tomorrow at about 5 o'clock. So.
Okay, you heard it here first, folks.
Yes.
Right? Who knew I was going to get a scoop?
Yeah, the
Right?
scoop.
Well, I think we touched on it a little bit, but what interested you about joining the Canby Area Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors?
Well, I feel like it's really important to support the community and the businesses. And so I wanted to be a part of helping promote those businesses because it was something I was doing anyway.
Right.
I'm a person that if I try something and I like it, I'm going to talk about it. I kind of have the gift of gab.
Yeah.
And so I just want people to know how they can look out for each other. And I think that sometimes businesses don't know that we're a resource. And
Right.
so to get out there and share that we are a resource to help them, and it doesn't, they become a member, but it doesn't cost them anything additional for all the added resources they get of the
Right.
community within the chamber to help each other. And I really feel like the chamber members do make a conscious effort to go and shop at the local businesses.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. What do you see as one or two of the primary issues facing our community or local businesses today?
Well, I think right now, finding creative ways to keep the businesses thriving instead of
Right.
just surviving.
Yeah.
I think that they have been really good at that, and some of it is coming from you. You've been an amazing asset to the board and to the chamber to help with great ideas for that because this has been a really trying time, and
Yeah.
I'm really proud of the businesses that have figured out ways to make things happen when it would have been really easy just to kind of roll over and and play dead and
Right.
go out. And so I think that the chamber is a big part of why the businesses are succeeding.
Yeah. It really is a time of ingenuity. I mean, it's a time of struggle
Yes.
in many ways. But I've been so impressed by the ingenuity of businesses as they adapt and, I hate the word, but as they pivot in new and different directions. And that's one thing that I don't think a lot of people kind of do understand about the chamber is that the board of directors, myself, my staff, we can be that sounding board for new ideas. And what do you think about X, or what do you think about Y?
Yeah.
Or finding partnerships. You have a good idea, but maybe you need a partner for an aspect
Absolutely.
of the new direction or the new promotion or the new activity that you're thinking about. And really, I do think that is the strength of the chamber community.
Oh, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that activities for the youth and the seniors are a big challenge right now, because I know our kids are struggling. They are just, they're not in their normal environment, and that's where they thrive. And so they're stuck at home. And, as myself as a single parent, my kids are schooling themselves at home alone, and
Yeah.
it's challenging.
Right.
And so activities for them to get out that are safe is something that, now that the weather's turning, it's not going to be like you're going to be able to be in the park and that sort of thing. And then the seniors, I'm seeing the decline in some of our seniors because they're not able to get out and do the things that they were doing before.
Right.
And, in the community I work in, a lot of those people are still young and active. I
Yeah.
mean, they might be 80 years old and you'd never know it because they stay active, but I'm seeing that decline because of the isolation.
yeah. Yeah, it is. It is almost like a muscle. Like you have to exercise your mental faculties, your physical faculties in order to kind
Absolutely.
of stay spry and bright and engaged.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you
Well,
so
thank
much
you.
for taking some
Yes,
time
yes,
and letting
absolutely.
folks get to know you a little
Yeah.
bit better.
Well, I'm excited to be on the board again, and looking forward to the new board members coming on and
Yeah.
seeing how the dynamic of that works.
Right. Perfect. Thank you
All
so
right,
much, Tina.
Thank you.
All right, so next up, we're going to bring on Sue Winter from the Canby School District. I'm very excited to have Sue on the board. We've worked together kind of in our capacities as chamber director and in Sue's position at the school in terms of doing manufacturing day, internships. She works on the career and technical side at the high school. And so we just really felt that strengthening that relationship between the school, specifically Sue's position, and the chamber board would be a great resource, not just to the community and to the school, but to the chamber itself. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, appreciate you taking some time out of your day to come down.
Of course.
So do you mind letting people know a little bit about you,
No, I
a little bit
don't.
about
I don't at all.
what you do?
This is my 20th year in the school district of Canby.
Oh.
And I started out as a special education assistant.
Oh.
And also did the youth transition program,
Mm-hmm.
so taking students out for job skills.
Yeah.
And I was a job coach, so a lot of different roles. But I'm currently the College and Career Center coordinator. So we do a lot of job shadows and internships, mock interviews. Getting kids ready to find out what they want to do for after high school.
Yeah.
Just get them thinking about that and how we can help facilitate that.
From job shadows and those types of things, those have always been on-site things. Is there a pivot in terms of that program? Are we having to do kind of digital and maybe
We
some Zoom
are.
consultation type stuff more?
We are
or-
doing exactly that. We decided to break up into career clusters this
Oh, okay.
time. And so we have hosts that are talking about, we had one person talking about, that works at Intel,
Okay.
talking about manufacturing and engineering. And then we also had a police officer. We took some of the more popular
Yeah.
ones that students tend to gravitate towards.
Right.
And we had guest speakers, and then we have mock interviews this Thursday and Friday, and it will be via Zoom.
Okay.
So that's been interesting and
Right.
a project to try to all the little bits and pieces to figure out.
Right.
So,
So you're doing the like breakout rooms, and then
Correct.
students have to go. Oh,
yes,
that's a lot
and
to
I've
manage.
never even heard of breakout rooms or any of that before. This whole
Me
thing.
either until
yes.
about 6 months ago.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes. Who would have
Yeah,
thought?
right.
Yeah. Anyways, and also I have served in PTA, and I'm currently a member of the Canby Lab Design, which is
Prosperity Lab? Yeah, okay.
yeah. So it's been nice to give back to the community. We raised 3 kids here as well.
Yeah.
And so even though we've been here, I think 26 years, I think we're still transplants, but we
And
love our
that-
town. We love
Canby,
our town.
Canby time is like geologic time, right? You got to be here for 50 plus,
Yes.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. So what interested you about coming on board with
So
the
from
board?
the school aspect, I know, knock on a lot of businesses' doors asking for, donations, contributions. And I just felt it would be a great opportunity from the school point to give back to the community and back to the businesses that we are knocking on their doors asking for donations and so on.
Right.
And so, and I love helping people. I love helping, try to come up with good ideas as far as in a group setting and so on. So
Right.
that's why I want to just give back.
Yeah. Before I took this position, before I actually came on board at the Chamber of Commerce, I rarely thought about the relationship between schools and work. I mean, traditionally, like, yeah, you should graduate in order to get a good job. Yeah, you should go to college and get a degree in the field you want to study. But there are so many there's so many ways that businesses and the school interact, and it's symbiotic. It works both ways. Healthy schools create healthy businesses, and healthy business support creates a healthy school environment. And so I just think it makes so much sense to have.
It does, and there's a lot of local businesses that have hosted our students as far as job shadows, and even when I was a job coach and took students out to work during the school day, that have just been very gracious, and a couple have turned into where the student was employed by them afterwards. So
Perfect.
it's just great connections and local businesses that are very supportive, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
I want to get back.
Awesome. Thank you. So what do you see? You come at this from a different lens than kind of our business professionals, in that you're a professional, but you work in education. So what do you see as one or two of the primary issues kind of facing our community?
So, in my opinion, it would be maybe lack of resources or residents knowing how to get the resources that are available to them.
Yeah.
And that's what we're kind of working on with the Canby Lab Design. And so whether it's a hub where people know you can go here and get all your information, or whether that's putting in a brochure when you're renting an apartment and you have the resources in there, or through the schools when a student maybe registers for school.
Yeah.
But just getting the information out to residents of, especially now,
Right.
of resources that are available to students and families.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, so many ways that we find out about programming or resources or those types of things is kind of as we're out in the world bumping into people and having conversations. And as we're kind of, sequestered away and self-isolating and those types of things, it becomes harder. And the internet is big.
It is.
And to find quality resources online.
Right, and
is
not only that,
difficult.
but also in different languages.
You're right.
As well.
Right.
So.
Translation is huge.
The information, might be there, but it's navigating that and
Mm-hmm.
having it in, your language.
Right.
Can be a problem, so
Yeah.
that's.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts or anything you'd like to
No,
add?
just I'm excited to work with everybody and give back.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Appreciate you, Sue.
Of course.
So that was Sue Winter from the Canby School District. And our third and final new board member that's joining the class of 2021 for the Canby Area Chamber is Dr. Ashley McFerron from Canby Eyecare. And so welcome,
Hello.
Dr. Ashley.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your business?
Yeah, so I own Canby Eyecare, like you said,
Yeah.
and I bought
Sponsor of one of our raffle giveaways.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
I bought it in 2011 from
Okay.
Don Chase, who is a wonderful man, and his wife Shar has been involved in a million things in the community. And although I don't live in Canby, I feel like the luckiest person alive to have a business here. And this community supports local businesses better than most.
Yeah.
I'm from a really small town in Oklahoma, and
Really?
that's one of the things I see my hometown struggling with is getting local people to support. And I always think, gosh, if they could just be like Canby.
Yeah.
So yes, I have one child and a spouse. We live in Lake Oswego, actually,
Yeah.
and but I love supporting Canby as much as I can.
Yeah.
Try to do most of my shopping here and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Nice. I'm one of those one and done on the child thing.
Yeah.
Too, right? I always say,
Yes.
why mess with perfection?
Keep it simple.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Especially right now. Oh Lord.
Oh, seriously. Part-time teacher in addition to everything else you do in a day. Yeah. So what interested you about joining the Canby Chamber Board?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll have to say number one, I've been so impressed by you as you've taken on this position. I came on the advocacy committee and have been working with that a little bit. And through all the COVID stuff, the chamber has really, I feel like, pivoted. And
Right. There's that word again.
I know. Done a really, really good job at communicating to all the businesses and helping all the businesses. Even my National Optometry Association, I was telling someone this the other day, is I got more information from the Chamber of Commerce in Canby than I did from some of these national organizations. And so I've been super impressed with that. But then also, I've done other board work on a state and national basis as well. And COVID made me, when you came asking, it was like this idea of shrinking down your bubble and giving back hyper locally. And since I don't live here in town, I am happy and I want to continue to keep getting involved more and give back to the community. So I'm super excited, and it's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun.
Yeah.
We do have a good time.
Yeah.
We tend to laugh a little bit when we meet. And so was totally happy when you took on the commitment of joining the Government Affairs Committee, and then to double down on that commitment and join the board. So we definitely appreciate your presence, and again that broader kind of state national board experience and bringing it to hyperlocal. That's just going to be something that's going to help push us and raise our level of professionalism and whatnot. So we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you see, in your dealings? You also have not only the business mindset, but you also work in the medical field. So I think
Yeah.
you have an interesting perspective.
Yeah, I think that, first off, with everything with COVID, it's, of course, trying to continue to keep everyone going. And and again, I think Canby does such a good job of supporting that. One thing I've noticed over the years here is it does seem like many professional businesses, whether it's in healthcare businesses, thrive here.
Oh.
Whether it's, insurance or financial planning or a lawyer or whatever. And we get great local support, and people, keep their doctors in town when they can and do all that kind of stuff. And where I think Canby does a good job with other businesses, well, I still think we can do better, especially in this downtown corridor area.
Yeah.
And there's a lot happening down here. And
Right.
it's super exciting to see the changes and new restaurants and new just ideas and kind of continuing to push that forward because, I'm in the exam room every day with people one-on-one, and people tend to share a lot when you're one-on-one in a dark room. And people don't want to leave town, but they still do leave town to go eat dinner or to do different things like that. And I think the more we can kind of keep pushing forward with that is the better.
Yeah, it has been encouraging that even in kind of the era of COVID that we have seen some new businesses land within the downtown in the Dahlia Building and elsewhere, and seeing, businesses investing in their presence in town. There's been a lot of remodels
Yes.
to buildings, of which you just recently invested in your property and did a remodel there, and just kind of reinvesting and doubling down within the community. I think it's encouraging that even in this time, people see the value.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, Canby's only growing, so
Yeah.
the more access to different industries we have in this town, the better.
Yeah.
For our community.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that the chamber has their eye on, that downtown corridor, but even more broadly, the industrial park and whatnot. It really is like an ecosystem, and each new addition kind of shifts
it.
and changes the ecosystem, and the interactions become like a little bit different. So having your feedback, and I think in a way also living outside of Canby and navigating your community in which you reside and bringing those ideas to us here in Canby will be a strength and an advantage to having you on the board.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be great.
it's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. So I appreciate you being here.
Yes.
And we'll get to work. All three of these folks actually won't begin their term until January. But definitely wanted to get a running start and get you introduced to the community and let people know who you are. So when they bump into you, they can start dropping those goodies in your ear.
Oh, yay.
And,
Can't
yeah,
wait.
right? Yeah, perfect. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Kyle.
All right. So that is the class of 2021 of new board members that are going to be joining us starting in the new year. And, we'll see what 2021 brings. We're ready to kind of do a little fast forward through this end part of 2020 and get there. But one of the things that I'm going to be a little bit sad about is that it will be the end of the term for our current president, Terri Gesik, from Gustafson Insurance and Frontier Golf Course. And so I wanted to bring Terri in and just talk a little bit about kind of what we've been up to and look back in 2020 and your year in service and, kind of catch up a little bit. So thank you.
Absolutely.
being
Thanks for
here.
having me.
So how would you describe your experience with the chamber board?
Oh my gosh. Amazing. Awesome. I met so many wonderful people. And I've mentioned to you, I've learned about so many businesses that I didn't know existed. And people that I met that have been here for a long time, have had businesses, and I try to use, now that I know about them, I use them, I recommend them and refer them whenever I can. And it's been such a great, great experience.
That I almost said, because really, you came on the board a couple of months before I got hired. So it's almost, our trajectory has been about over the same amount of time. And when I came on, it was the same thing for me in that I discovered so many new businesses that I had no idea existed, or little nooks and crannies and pockets of industry throughout Canby, and it's been fascinating.
Yeah, and I've met so many people that have been here for a really long time, and new people too, that I wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet, which that's been really, really neat.
Right. It's that again, that community, that interaction. It's very much what we're about. So what would you say is the biggest difference in the chamber from where you started to where you finished?
Well,
or where you will finish, I guess.
The chamber was definitely in a period of transition when I started. We were kind of between directors, and now it's a well-oiled machine, and it's just going so well. And it was great, but we were way more hands-on, the actual board. We did spent a lot more time facilitating whatever was happening, whatever committee was, the planning and the coming and going. We were in charge of that.
Yeah.
And now we have you. So
Here
it was
it is. Yeah.
there you go.
Right.
Pivot.
Yeah, pivot. Right.
So that's the biggest. I feel like when I started, I spent a lot of time, and it's kind of I don't spend as much time, but it's great because I have the opportunity to do other things and get involved in other things. That's been the biggest difference, I think.
Yeah.
Just the transition into kind of now we just have this real smooth, things are going really well.
Yeah.
And so,
We're off to the races.
yes.
All right. So what is the thing you're most proud of in your tenure on the board, or your biggest success, or the chamber's biggest success?
I was thinking about that. Everything runs really well. You guys have done such a great job with the gala and with the golf tournament. I think specifically the golf tournament, I had a lot of ideas and
Just for context, Terry was the head of the committee for the golf tournament for a number of years.
and
so.
I wanted to change everything because I
Right.
had all these what I thought were great ideas. And some of them stuck and some of them didn't. But I really like trying new things.
Yeah.
I like to try and see, well, let's see if this makes it even better.
Right.
So I really enjoyed that. And I do feel like we had some new success
Yeah.
with that.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go to these kind of conferences of other chamber directors and whatnot, and I listen to what they say about their boards. And in so many situations, I mean, really so many situations, other directors talk about their board of directors being kind of tied to tradition and like, that's what we do because that's what we've done and that's how we do it and that's what we do. And and the directors getting frustrated, and that has not been my experience at all with the board so far. You guys have been really encouraging and supportive of trying new things.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not always the case.
No, that's true.
And so that's kudos to you and to the
Yeah.
current serving board members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun because I agree with you. We are all pretty open to hey, maybe it'll be more successful. Let's try it.
Right.
If it doesn't work, we can go back.
Right.
It's fun to try.
It's
new
not
things.
forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah. Awesome. So now that you're approaching the end of your term as president, right? So like when these guys step on in January, right? That'll be the end of your term and you'll move to past president. But is there anything you'd like to highlight or expand upon in terms of your experience with the chamber?
You and I have talked a little bit about this.
Right.
I love. I don't know anything about it, but I love the government. I like politics, and I didn't know that I liked any of that. But I
Right.
have been fascinated by. You and I took a trip to the Capitol, and we had it was for chamber.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
And
the
it
Oregon
was
State
so-
Chamber's legislative day
Yes.
down at the Capitol.
Yes, and it's made me want to get involved, which is shocking. I mean, I just never dreamed that
Yeah.
that would happen. But I've definitely kind of developed that desire now to get more involved that way,
Yeah.
which like I said, I didn't expect. And then, just circling back to what a great experience this has been, and I just didn't expect it.
Yeah.
I thought it would be fun, and maybe I'll meet people, but it's just been really fantastic.
Yeah.
I've met so many cool people.
Yeah. I like what you say about the interest in legislative advocacy. That wasn't a huge strong point for me either. And really, when I paid attention, it was always on the national level. Happy Election Day, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. But since I've taken this position, it's so much more fascinating to get involved in what's going on at city council or what's going on at the county or what's going on the state level. And once you start really kind of looking at that level, you realize how much more impact those levels of government have upon the actual like fabric and daily pattern of our lives.
Everyday life. I agree
than-
completely. Yeah, it's
than
amazing.
at the national level. Not to say that paying attention to the federal and the national level isn't important, but I think we oftentimes zoom straight to the top, and it warrants maybe zooming down a little bit. And so that very much mirrors my experience as
Yeah.
well. And now I'm in it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, thank you
Thank
for your
you.
service. I
Thank
definitely
you.
appreciate all your time and energy
Absolutely.
and
It's been my
volunteerism.
absolute pleasure.
And to all the board of directors and to all the oncoming board of directors, my job would be a lot harder without this advisory panel, these people that are willing to like volunteer, roll up their sleeves, participate, advocate, and spread the word. And that's what it takes. And that's very much what Chamber is about. And thank you all for kind of upholding those ideals. So to all of you that are watching, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate your time and attention. Today especially, remember to go outside, talk to your neighbors, your coworkers, and your family. If you find yourself becoming overwhelmed, remember that it's okay to turn the media off and to simply move about your space without the constant barrage of commentary and breaking news. It will all be there in the morning. And remember, no matter what the outcome of the elections, we are still a community. We are still neighbors and coworkers, family and friends. Our relationships at the local level are what truly matter. And we will all be better off if we give our attention to the blessings that sit right in front of us every day. So be well, be safe, and reach out to us if you need us. Thanks for joining.